You sing blues, right?
Yeah, primarily.
Yeah.
Uh, a friend of mine once said blues is a poetic language and it's a language I speak. It's like one of several, you know.
Ah.
Uh, I played, I love Western swing, like Texas cowboy jazz from the 30s, you know.
Oh, wow.
Uh, Mexican and Cuban music. Uh,
How did you get into it? How did you get into the blues?
well, through the guitar, really, because I was just in love with the guitar from a very young age. And so it was a transition. My dad made me a cigar box guitar, which I wish I still had. And then I got to the age where I was borrowing guitars from family friends. And I finally got a job sweeping out a men's store. This would have been like 1959, for $4 a week, and I made enough money to buy a guitar.
Oh.
And so my first influences were guys like the great country picker Merle Travis, who played, you know, really essentially played blues. I mean, his style was based on Carolina blues. He added a couple jazz chords to it. That's about it.
Yeah.
But he was a great songwriter, and he was able to turn all of Nashville and by that all of America onto that sort of finger style guitar. And then he showed it to Chet Atkins, who really took it all kinds of places. The blues, from there though, I kept listening to the older players that were my parents' friends and dug up whoever they were talking about, you know.
Okay.
So I listened to Charlie Christian, the jazz player,
Yeah.
and
And how old were you about this time?
yeah, I was 12, 13.
12? Wow.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And I guess I would have been, yeah, I would have been 12. And, you know, they would mention players like Blind Lemon Jefferson and people like that, and I would just go look them up, you know. And back then you didn't have the internet, but record stores used to have listening booths.
Oh.
And so you could go in, and you know, if you stayed too long, they might come and tell you to buy something or get out.
Yeah.
But I was lucky because I had a couple record stores who were fans of mine just from what they'd heard me play as a kid.
Right.
And so I'd just go in after school and take 2, 3, 4 albums and woodshed them a little bit, you know, or make notes on what they were doing.
Right.
Including the first Robert Johnson album, the first 10 or 12 songs from the very first recording sessions.
Hang on 1 second. I'm going to actually flip this.
Oh, okay.
There.
And who else? Well, then when I was 13, we moved up to the Mojave Desert because
Oh.
my dad had quit being a cowboy and was now a tool and die maker in the aircraft business.
Whoa.
And so we moved to a town called Lancaster, and among the people, I went to the same high school with Captain Beefheart and Frank Zappa, and a bunch of people like that, very creative. And out in the desert, people get weirder and more creative, less answerable to the showbiz, even though LA is only 65 miles away.
Right.
And we shared some really great music teachers. Stan Summers was my band and choir and theory teacher, and he was a guitar player, but he could play piano and string bass and trombone. And he was always working, but he was usually working in other contexts,
Right.
like as a horn player in somebody's group or something.
Right.
So I would leave my guitar in the band room, and then we'd eat lunch in his office in the band room, and he would show me stuff.
Ah.
Mostly sort of LA, West Coast blues, jazz kind of things, which set me up for learning, about T-Bone Walker, who I later met, and a lot of the people in his circle. And yeah, I think that's, I think that pretty much is the sort of progression of it. There's some classic recordings that came out in that time. The
Okay.
Blues Volume 2, I think, on Vanguard had all the heavies on it. It had Muddy, it had Wolf, it had Buddy Guy, it had, Sonny Boy Williamson the second. It had, who else? I can't even remember. Lowell Fulson was on it. Great guitar player from Oklahoma.
And were you just playing guitar at this time, or were you
I
singing?
had taught, about 14. I had been a drummer for a little while when I was 8.
What?
And then, and then the guitar kind of took over, but they made me play piano in music theory class because at that point they didn't teach music theory related to anything but a keyboard. So you had to take piano to take music theory.
Oh my God.
And I had taught myself already to also play mandolin
Okay.
and a little bit of banjo, which I translated nicely, to like the first paying gig I had, I think, which was in a bluegrass band. We played for square dances in a community hall in Lancaster, where we were living then, up in the Mojave Desert.
Okay. So you play a whole bunch of instruments.
Yeah,
Like, could you play the drums now, or did you kind of fade out from
no,
it?
I've got pretty good arthritis, or pretty bad arthritis.
Yeah.
I did keep a kit at home for a while. My wife and one of my nephews were learning to play, so
Yeah.
we had a kit down in the music room at home for a while.
Yeah.
And I would periodically go down and work on it or show my nephew some stuff.
Right. When did you start performing? Like, how old were you when you actually got on the stage and took a...
Other
did-
than a sideman role in, let's see, 15?
Wow. What did your parents think of all of it?
Oh, not much. They enjoyed the fact that I was clearly like good at it.
Yeah.
And their friends, they had a few friends who were retired touring pro country guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept saying, "Oh, he's really good. He's going to wind up doing this for a living." And my parents are going, by the time I graduated high school, I was pretty much a working musician.
Wow.
And then I got accepted. Was I still in high school? No. Yeah. I got accepted to audit the Seminar on American Music at USC and in LA. And very prestigious music history program. I was invited to audit it, which is, they don't let people do that unless you've got something they want.
Okay.
So I did some campus radio stuff for them and that, and sang with a group they had there that never went anywhere. But my mother, this is so typical of the way they felt. She went to the music store in our town that she knew I spent a lot of time in, and she said, "What's Tim's favorite guitar here?" And it was in 1930s, late 30s or 40s, Martin 015, all mahogany, perfect size finger picking, and blues guitar. And I wish to hell I still had it. When she gave me the guitar, she said, "Here, I'm really proud of you. Try not to play this for a living."
That's awesome.
And my grandparents were quite a bit more religious than my parents, and they were unimpressed until I signed with Epic, which is a CBS subsidiary. I wasn't even 20 yet, I don't think. I had just turned 20, so Actually, the fact that I was already married made me legally an adult. I would have otherwise had to have a parent sign that thing.
Oh yeah, because you're American.
Yeah.
So okay.
Or I would have had to have the record company have a sort of guardianship arrangement.
Right.
So I signed with them and recorded an album. It's a pretty good album. And then nothing came of it. They were going to put on a big drive for the blues
Yeah.
at that label. And, you know, they signed Johnny Winter, and Taj Mahal had left the Rising Suns, and his first album was just out. So they were talking about a package show to Europe with the three of us,
Ah.
which didn't come into being. And at that point, all support from the label seemed to stop. So I looked around and I wasn't happy living in America. And so I moved to Canada.
Oh, so you moved to Canada young.
Yeah, I was 22.
Oh.
I crossed, actually, in October it'll be 55 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And were you always in Calgary or no?
No. First, I came up with a couple of producers' names in my pocket, big shot guys from Toronto,
Yeah.
that I was supposed to go do session work for,
Okay.
like studio musician stuff. And I got to Vancouver, and it was so nice. It was a lovely October day, and everything was green, and the air was clean, and it only, it was a much smaller city then. And I thought I would look around and see what we could do there. There was also a blizzard on the prairies that was shutting the Trans-Canada down.
Okay.
And I called the local coffee house, and I got a gig opening for Ramblin' Jack Elliott, the folk singer, and
Yeah.
out of that, I got a teaching offer from Mediterranean Guitars and 2 albums worth of studio work on other people's records.
Ah.
And just from like one set opening for Jack. And decided to stay for a while, which turned into about 5 years.
Wow. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, Vancouver was heaven back then.
Yeah.
I used to walk down Hastings Street at 2 in the morning after getting off work with 3 instruments and pockets full of money. You can't do that anymore.
No.
You wouldn't make it a block.
No.
I still have good friends from those days. Just about everywhere we played, I think, is all gone in Gastown now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I taught at Mediterranean, and then I decided that I didn't want to be in the music business anymore, at least for a while. And I got a job as a dude wrangler at the what used to be called the Bar Q Guest Ranch. It was owned by Barnes Lake Cattle Company in Ashcroft.
Okay.
And so, you take the dudes for a trail ride, and you sort out the new horses and get them quieted down. If they were really good saddle horses, we'd sell them at a markup. If they were plodders, we'd just stick them at the tail end of the dude's string.
Right. Yeah.
But
you grew up with horses, your dad, because your dad, right?
Yeah,
So
horses and cattle.
You knew what you were doing.
Yeah, well, mostly. Compared to some of the cowboys I worked with, I was awful green.
Or yeah.
Well, I knew how to saddle a horse and ride him, but a lot of the other fine points of that work, no.
Yeah.
So and I went from there to another. I moved back to Vancouver for a while, and then I moved to 108 Ranch, where I ran their horse barns.
Okay.
And played around. I didn't play that much on the road in those years,
Yeah.
Till 88. In 88, I moved back to the ranch I'd been working for. Had changed hands, had sold, and it was all very uncertain what was going to happen there.
Yeah.
It's since been subdivided into, 20 acres and a manure pile for a backyard, hobby ranches.
Yeah.
I moved back to Alberta and eventually wound up working at Elkanah Ranch in Bragg Creek.
Oh.
And I was hired. I was hired by Holger Peterson to do in his last year running the Edmonton Folk Fest.
Okay.
And then that set me. There was like people booking me for festivals for the following year. Out of that, quite a few.
Right.
And I ran into old friends there, like Tom Russell and a few people like that, who spread the word that I was kind of back among the musically active,
Yeah.
And at that point, I was kind of getting ready to leave Elkanah anyway. And I started investigating the scene here in town.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of people here that I did know either from passing through here for years, because I used to do a television show in Edmonton called Sun Country.
Uh-huh.
And or guys I had met doing session work here. The late Ron Cassat in particular. I mean,
Who is it?
he was a keyboard player who.
Oh. What was his name?
Ron Cassat.
Ron Cassat.
Yeah, he played with. Oh God. He played with Amos Garrett for quite a while. He
Okay.
played with Maria Muldaur. He played with Diamond Joe White, the iconic Canadian folk singer, and with Ian Tyson, and then he was always sort of my brother from another mother. So
Yeah.
he actually joined my band for 20 years or so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, on keyboard and vocals, he was a fabulous cat, great player. And so it's been like just a nice steady climb without a lot of lulls in it since I went back to playing. I do a little less these days, like because I'm 77.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
do-
that's the year I was born.
I do a little less road stuff.
Yeah.
And if I do, I try to do the things where I drive in and I fly in and somebody picks me up, or I fly in and rent a car.
Yeah.
The days of driving 14 hours to Winnipeg and then playing.
Forget it.
Yeah, no, I can't do that anymore.
I don't even know who'd want to do that. Even
No.
if you're 20, forget it.
It's crazy. I mean, you do it because you love the music. You do it because you need the money.
Yeah.
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 You're driving a second-hand at best car, and you're beating the hell out of a bunch of instruments on the road.
So did you make a living at it? Like straight?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only time I didn't was either when I had a ranch job. Often then I would be playing a few gigs because ranching pays such excellent wages. You've got to top them up somehow.
Right.
But I was always doing a few gigs and writing. And when I came back to playing, I was pretty ready.
Yeah.
I played full time. I did have to do a little business. I was a house painter for a while, contracted painting people's houses.
Yeah.
My family owned a bunch of rental houses in Southern California,
Yeah.
like a series of them.
Mhm.
And every time tenants move out, you got to paint them. So I
Right.
learned how to paint and fix plumbing and do all kinds of stuff through my dad and my grandfather that was in changing over those houses for tenants.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how often do you play now?
How often do I play?
Yeah.
This week it's only 2 days.
Oh, but you still play 2 days a week?
Oh yeah, at least.
Oh,
I mean,
whoa.
this week I'm doing the jam here at the Blues Can, and I will also be doing one set at a information rally and neighborhood party in Ramsey, where I live, for Rideau, which is a charity there.
Yeah.
And last week it was 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still keep fairly busy, and I'm always.
How do you feel like when you get on stage? Do you still feel the same kind of vibe that you felt when, let's say, you were in your 20s? Like, do you still do you still feel connected when you're on stage?
Oh yeah, but it's a strange thing. When you lose the brashness of a younger man, but at the same time, you gain this sort of. You're still a little afraid, which is good because you use the fear to keep an edge on things. But you still, you settle into a groove, not just musically, but in terms of your life, who you are.
Yeah.
And yeah, I get on stage, man. So, that's what I do all the hard work for, is to get on stage and just play guitar, which is my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
Well, one of my two favorite things in the world.
What's your other one?
Well, think about it.
Oh.
So yeah, hell yeah, I'd do it. I mean, as often as the music. I do it as often as I can. I mean, I have slowed down. I had a couple health things.
Yeah.
Everybody gets them. At 77, you go, oh,
For sure.
I've actually done pretty good.
Yeah.
The
The music's good for the soul.
Yeah.
Right? Good for it's good for everything, I think, because you are in your passion.
I do too. I agree. And, time marches on. I was part of a large group of young men in the 60s who sought out those older blues players that were still alive and played with them. Helped them get gigs, do whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I know the history, and I know I knew a lot of the people that other people name drop.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I knew them.
Personally,
I drank whiskey with them and played guitar with them,
Wow.
and knew some of their family, and
Yeah.
it's that's a thing somehow that has to be preserved as a living thing, not as a bookshelf full of stuff written by non-musicians, and not as a terrible movies like Crossroads.
Right. You mean that connection?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The history, how the links, the inspirations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I kind of do a little bit of explaining of that more at my acoustic gigs or on a festival workshop or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of feel an obligation to do it. Although there are some great younger guys now, and great African American players who are in their mid-20s to their 30s, who are embracing the older stuff and really doing cool things with it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, John Tavius Willis, young guy, and Mac McDonald, who was here for the Blues Fest just last month,
Okay.
who totally confident in the oldest of the acoustic styles, right up to like pretty hefty jazz, blues, funk stuff.
Right.
And he's 24 years old, and along with learning all that, he's got a mastering degree in audio engineering.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a bright guy.
Wow.
And a fabulous player. And you see those guys in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're going to keep it going, but are they enough?
Yeah. Yeah, because the music today, it was funny, I was talking with Perry about it actually when we were watching you on stage, and the crowd that's in here is a little older of a crowd, right?
Yes.
It's like I feel like we're losing that soul in music today. Like, I don't listen to a lot of today's music.
I listen to stuff from the outside of today's music. Country artists like Sturgill Simpson.
Yeah.
And what's their name? The Honky Tonk Ramblers, who are I think an Ohio band,
Okay.
and they are stone traditional country.
Okay, and they're called the Honky Tonk
I think it's the Honky Tonk Ramblers.
Ramblers.
one or two fiddles, upright bass,
Mm.
two electric guitars, a pedal steel or a non-pedal steel if it's an old tune that requires that kind of sound,
Right.
and an acoustic guitar, and a singer who is really good.
Okay.
He's really good at selling that old-timey, like early Ray Price kind of vibe, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, I listen to those guys. I listen to a lot of Latin music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've spent some time in Cuba. And, I really enjoy, and southern Mexico. The further south you get, the more tropical the music gets, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hawaiian music.
Mhm.
A lot of Hawaiian group stuff from the classic era, like 20s to 40s, but
Yeah.
also the contemporary players. There's a lot of players in Hawaii these days who are taking the old school stuff.
Mm.
You know, slack key, which is where you detune a guitar and you play it finger style, and it's
Oh.
cowboy music from Hawaii. It's what they call paniolo music.
Oh.
Because Mexican cowboys came to Hawaii with the first shipment of cattle
Mm.
and stayed, and the Hawaiians fell in love with the guitars. They would tune the strings down till they got an open chord sound they liked, slack key.
Right.
And then there's the steel guitar tradition
Yeah.
and the ukulele,
Oh.
and you know, and the group singing, fabulous group singing and falsetto singing.
I like how you were tuning the guitar when I was watching you while everybody's playing. You're just like tuning your guitar. Because I said to Perry, "What's he doing?" He goes, "Tuning."
Yeah, well, new strings, you know, they were slipping.
Yeah, but I love it because just you're so comfortable on the stage, and then you were leading. I don't think these guys were kind of catching on, and then they did. You just
Oh, there was that one tune, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like Bill's usually really the bass player. He's usually right on top of things.
Yeah.
And it's a 12-bar blues in D. You know,
Yeah.
They were pretty shamefaced when we finished that set.
Yeah, because you were calling out the notes even.
Yes, I was. And if you watch, I'll do something I learned from watching Van Morrison of all people.
Oh wow,
with
I love
his
Van
with his
Morrison.
hand behind his back, you'll have the mic here.
Yeah,
But if you watch him, this hand,
yeah.
he's going 1, the dominant chord, 4, the subdominant, 2, the second chord,
To guide them.
to guide them through the
Wow.
songs. He's conducting behind his back and signaling them the chord changes.
Reminds me of baseball.
It's a little bit like, yeah, it's like, you know, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
signaling the baseman
Yeah,
what the pitch is going to be.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a bit of Indian music I listen to these days. I was always a fan of the music. I even took sitar lessons at one point for.
What's sitar?
Sitar is the big instrument with the 2 gourds on the end, the classical Indian
Okay.
instrument. It's got
Yeah.
that great buzzy sound,
Yeah.
big row of sympathetic strings
Right.
underneath the fingerboard, and the fingerboard is wire frets that are arched, so you can play the note and then bend it with your finger.
Wow.
Ravi Shankar's far and away the most famous player of it, but his family and his students who've come out of his school just dominate that side of the.
Can
the
you just bring
Indian
that
classical.
instrument up anywhere, or no? You can't bring, like, you couldn't have brought that instrument into the set you were playing when I was here the other
No,
day.
I don't use it. I don't even have one now.
Oh, okay.
I have been looking at building what a friend of mine designed, Vishwa Mohan Bhatt, who was a student of Shankar's. He created this thing called the Mohan Veena from a guitar left in his ashram in
Oh,
India. And the neck warped because of the climate in India.
Yeah, it's hot.
And
I've
so
been there.
he stabilized the neck and then attached another piece to it to accommodate all the tuners for the sympathetic strings. And then he made one of those dished out tailpieces for the sympathetics that give you that rattle and buzz and
Wow.
the characteristic sound.
Yeah.
And he won a Grammy for an album with Ry Cooder. I met him his first tour of Canada. he played for the Ragamala societies, mostly the Indian classical music societies. And I saw him here at a tiny rehearsal hall at the U of C. He played, and a folklorist buddy of mine said, "You got to see this. This guy's unbelievable." So I met him. Somebody introduced us. Told him I was a great slide guitar player, and I was dying of embarrassment. But he's the greatest sweetheart in the world. Like, we've become friends.
Oh, wow.
And he actually let me play the prototype for the Mohan Veena.
Wow.
He was very impressed that I knew anything about it, like the rudiments of the scale, or even.
Right.
You know.
Well, not a lot of people probably know that.
No, the morning raga scale is really closely related to the Hijaz or Hijaz scale in Arabic music.
Oh, wow.
Kind of from Morocco over to Iraq, you know, and Iran. I studied that a little bit too. It's one of the same scales that gets used in Greek music.
Okay.
I went to Morocco to play a festival called the Festival of the Plucked String. And I did a little more work on the Hijaz stuff before I went there, because it's the primary scale for a lot of the thing they play that looks like a lute, the big round-backed instrument called an oud, which is actually the root of the term lute. It became in Arabic and in Spanish laud.
Oh, wow.
The oud,
Yeah.
laud, and so then in English it became laud. Like, you go to Cuba, it's still a very popular instrument.
Wow. Do you have any moments, like, in your career, because you've had a long career, that were your favorite? Like, is there a time zone, an era, where you just felt...
I think it's more certain gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. One year at the folk festival here, I wasn't even supposed to be playing the festival, but a friend of mine from New Zealand came and found me in the backstage beer garden, because I had a guest pass, and said, "Can you come and play on a workshop with me tomorrow, because you know what I do, and the other people on the workshop are a Sufi praise trio from Persia."
Wow.
And so they sang in Farsi, and they had harmonium veena, which is the rhythm accompaniment to the sitar in Indian classical music, and a violin and a clarinet and a couple of fantastic singers. And the other group was Mongolian throat singers. You know, the people who do the biphonal singing with the two notes at once.
That's crazy.
And these guys, they're not the totally a cappella guys like the ones from Republic of Tuva. They actually have instruments they use with it. And we began playing. Everybody did a song, the usual kind of folk festival workshop thing. You know, you go in rotation.
Yeah.
But then when we suddenly realized all of us were tuned to D.
Okay.
And it broke down from there into about an hour and 15-minute jam. People would we kept riffing off one another, and then someone would think of a song, and we would drift into the song, and when the song ended, we would just keep playing, and there would be more jamming and another song. They actually told us to run the workshop long, because there was a huge crowd and they wouldn't leave. That was very special. Just this year, I was on with a bunch of young folks from Montreal, but their parents are from Veracruz, Mexico, and so they play what's called son jarocho.
Okay.
And I know that music, I know the history of it, I know the rhythm behind it and stuff. So I played with them, and Mediterranean bands. I do a lot of that. I get added a lot on folk festival stages to that kind of thing because I have a rep for being able to find a part fit in with just about anybody.
Right, like chameleon.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This comes from listening to a lot of stuff, and if you can understand the basics of it, understand the scale they're using, and the length of their measures, like in our music we have 2/4 3/4 4/4. We have 6/8. We have, I mean, if you want to play off-time jazz, you got 9/8, and then the weirder time signatures go on from there, but they're common to us. You can turn around and look at a band and say this is in 4,
Okay.
and you count it in, and it's a blues in E in 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, because that just tells them how long each measure is, the key, and the big form of it.
Okay.
In some what are called world musics now, some African music and some Middle Eastern music, and occasionally some South American stuff, the rhythms are off, like they're a little screwy.
Right.
Like if a phrase is 14 notes long, they may do it with a bar of 7, a bar of 4, and a bar of 3.
Okay.
And so that's how the secret to sound like you know what you're doing with that is you break it down into say simple measures that you can count while playing.
Right.
Like you could play it as 3 4s and a 5, a fourth measure, five beats, like 1 beat added on the end,
Right.
which is also common to old school blues and really fiddle players.
But you have to be taught music to really understand that, because some people just teach themselves how to play. Like, I've talked to people that are like, yeah, I taught myself guitar. And so somebody like that wouldn't really kind of get the mathematics of what you're talking about, or would they?
Yeah, if you're serious about it, it becomes pretty evident if you play for a while.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had 3 years in high school and college of music technical training,
Right.
and a couple of years in choirs in junior high and high school. And to me, it was pretty easy to pick up, but I was also always reading and always listening, These days it's so great because you can dial up almost anything. You can find my first album on the internet.
What is your first
on
album?
YouTube. It was a blues album called Blues Full Circle.
Blues Full Circle?
Yeah, one side was me solo, and the other side was a really good LA band featuring Pee Wee Creighton, who was T-Bone Walker's main student, and had several big hits of his own, and George Harmonica Smith from the Muddy Waters Band.
Wow.
And yeah, and what was his name? Johnny House. He had played in the original house orchestra for the Amos and Andy concert comedy series, which had live music.
Yeah.
And he'd been around for years then, and he was still a practicing working bass player. So he was also a mechanic. He showed up for the session with his Fender bass, which he put between his legs like an upright and played, and he still got mechanics coveralls on and a fifth of Old Granddad sticking out the hip pocket. He was just a character study, and that generation of blues guys.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that album, it generated some play mostly in England, and not much anywhere else. Then I didn't record for a long time, and I recorded 2 albums of country folk stuff.
And did you write it, or
most of it.
Oh, you did.
And it was sort of like, kind of like Jerry Jeff Walker's recordings from that era.
Okay.
And same sort of band, like fiddle and steel and a mix of guitars and a rhythm section.
Right.
But we were doing fairly adventurous stuff with that. And then I just got tired of playing. I mean, it suddenly, it spawned a couple of Canadian hits, that last album, and I found myself on the road playing places I hated,
Yeah.
with a band I didn't like, and a bus that cost me a fortune to run. So somewhere along the road, like New Brunswick somewhere, I fired the band and sold the bus.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I gave two of them my truck to bring back, which we had on the road with us for gear and stuff.
Right.
And two others were traveling in a van, so that was theirs. So they just brought all,
So that was your last days on the road?
well, how did I do that? No, I brought my truck back. I sold the bus, and I got it in the pickup truck with my drummer of the time and maybe one other person. Oh, my dog. And a whole bunch of gear, and we drove basically, I think, straight from Brandon to Vancouver. And I took a job with a ranch and just disappeared for a while. Playing the festivals and stuff is nice, but when you connect that with bar gigs and some set in a shopping mall because it pays $500 or $600 that you can really use.
Yeah.
It's no fun. I would sooner not have that money and be home.
Yeah. It's exhausting being on the road, I'm sure.
Well, it is. I mean, you get used to it, but then you reach a point where things start getting a little harder when you've been doing it for a long, long time.
Yeah. Well, you want to plant roots somewhere.
Yeah, well, I've lived here in Calgary for 35 years now, longer than I lived in California.
Wow.
And, I may leave only because I hate the politics here.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Where would
and
you
then
go?
Where would I go? Probably Mexico.
Yeah. I spent 5 months last winter in
Yeah?
Mexico, yeah.
Whereabouts?
Puerto Escondido.
Puerto Escondido, yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a coming place. I have friends in Puerto Vallarta,
Oh, okay.
and I really like the old town there. The rest of it, I'm not very
Yeah.
fussy about.
Yeah, me too.
But I've been
yeah.
going there ever.
Yeah.
And
It's expensive now everywhere in Mexico.
well, actually, some places aren't.
No?
I go down just about every other year and play the Zihuatanejo Guitar Festival, which is about an hour.
What is it called?
Zihuatanejo is the town,
Okay.
like in Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's where he's headed when he breaks out of jail.
Oh, my God. Okay.
And down the road is Ixtapa, which was built by the Mexican government because the locals said, yeah, yay for tourism, that's our new income source, but you're not tearing down or wrecking our vibe. So
Right.
they built Ixtapa 5 miles down the road. And there's work there, but it's just a cool vibe. We were there, my wife and I were there one time, like maybe 2 times ago, and we stayed before and after in Puerto Vallarta because I had gigs there coming and going.
Right.
And when we got back to Puerto Vallarta, after having paid for, like shopping and all that stuff in Zihuatanejo, my wife was astounded. Like it was 3 times the price.
Oh, I bet.
The
Yeah.
groceries and
Yeah.
most any consumer goods except beer.
How do you get gigs out there? Like all the way
How
out
do you get gigs out there?
Well, you
That's
must
a-
have an agent, right? Or
I'm my own agent.
okay.
I never started actually making any money, like bankable money, until I became my own record label and my own management company.
Right.
I've had a couple good people do work for me over the years, but mostly not.
Right.
So it's a business. There's a lot of people who want to do it, they don't know how to do it,
Right.
and they don't know going in how much energy it requires.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, well, now, I'm kind of, I still travel some, but
Yeah.
not to the extent I was doing.
Yeah.
Next summer, I might if I get a new album finished before next summer, I might do the applications to the festivals.
Are you writing an album
Take
now?
a look at. I'm working on it. It's not all. It's not all my writing. There's some tunes by other people. Trying to decide what the format of it is. Something that's marketable and something I can do on the road, whether it's by myself or with a band. So there's that. Been invited back to the Hornby Island Blues Week off the west coast of Vancouver. Great week.
When's
Weekend.
that?
That's May, early May.
Oh, okay.
Hornby, people get more sane with every ferry ride away from Vancouver, and it takes 3 ferry rides to get to Hornby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you got to come Vancouver to Nanaimo,
Yeah.
then Buckley Bay to Denman Island,
Mm-hmm.
and Denman Island to Hornby Island.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So it's people, lovely weirdos move out that far from, from civilization.
Yeah.
One of my friends out there turned 90 this year. I played his birthday party, and he was a commentator political commentator for the BC legislature
Right.
for CTV for years and years.
Oh, okay.
And he was I think on the board of Mariposa Folk Festival for years when they still lived in Toronto. And he also makes really good moonshine. And you see these people out there like that, and they're all kind of like that, Some of them grow excellent weed.
Oh, your mic. Your mic.
Oh,
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Just
yes, some of them grow really good weed.
Do they?
Yeah, some of them take that and make wine out of it, which is an interesting concept.
Yes.
There's a ton of juniper on the island, so they actually make, I don't know how many people are making gin there, but there's at least one legal still there for gin. And it's people with all sorts of skills. There are a lot of artists, visual
Right.
artists,
Right.
some very good musicians. And then some lovely boat builders, because they came there where people live out there because they kind of like boats. So
Yes.
there's some good boat builders, and you go out, you play like 3 concerts for the students and for the public, one for the public, and then you teach for 3 days. Pretty intensive teaching.
Wow.
Like 2 lengthy classes a day around a lunch break,
Right.
and then the last day is a half day.
Ah.
But it's a very rewarding thing to watch people come to an understanding of something that they've been trying to learn. My friend Jack DeKaiser does it all the time. Jack's a great guitar player from Toronto, and he teaches them. I mean, he knows the whole canon of the blues, but he teaches them the blues rock stuff lick by lick, and they fall in love with that. Usually, when they have me out there, it's to do either an overview of fingerstyle blues or something on open tunings for guitar.
Right.
Russell Jackson, a good pal of mine.
Oh.
Russell played bass for B.B. King for 7 years.
Wow.
The bass chair is always either him or Gary Kendall from Downchild Blues Band. It was great lineup, and a great friend. So it's like a hang, because you get to see everybody, and then you go to work, and then you hang out some more. you know.
Yes. That's really cool to be around those people too that have had that kind of history, and I'm sure they feel that when they're around you.
Well, it's and it's the roots music is this funny floating community, and it's kind of worldwide. And you meet people in passing, you get close to them, and then it's very similar to film in that way. You work intensively for somewhere between hours and days, on something.
Yeah.
You let it go, but you carry that person with you, and when you see them again, you're going to see them at another festival or another concert hall or whatever, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys get each other in a way that nobody else could get you guys, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's
Could
that. There is that.
Yeah.
That explains why most of us have been married several times.
Let me make sure my cameras are still running.
Yeah.
I was actually like so mesmerized by you. I haven't even checked, and I know.
How are you doing?
I'm doing really good.
Oh, good.
Are you doing good?
Yeah.
Okay. No, you don't want any moonshine?
I don't drink anymore. I have an unopened bottle of my buddy's apple moonshine
Really?
in a closet at home. Yeah, and my drummer and I both have birthdays this month.
Yeah.
So he's been in Europe with the Cantina band Trimoloco,
Okay.
and he's back now. So
Yeah.
I'm going to give him that full bottle.
Oh yeah.
Because it's also Jake's 90. I don't know how many
He's
more
90.
years he's going to be able to build
Yes.
that whiskey.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd appreciate it.
Yeah. Put this away for a special occasion. At loose ends, I'm hoping that my luthier guy, I do some of my own work, but particularly on the antique stuff, I get another guy who's better at it to do it for me.
Like sell antiques?
Like,
You sell antiques, or what were you?
no, I use antique guitars and quite often in my acoustic
Oh.
show,
Oh.
and mandolins, and right now, well, the big arch top guitar I had last week that's like the thing's 75 years old.
Oh wow.
And the one that's in the shop is 115, 120.
Wow.
Yeah, I like those records that the real blues guys played on the
Yeah.
pre-war and immediate post-war stuff,
Mm.
They were a different instrument. They weren't all just copies of a Martin guitar, which is mostly, almost all really, of what you get out of Asia, which is where most guitars are made now.
Yeah.
Most steel string guitars, and they sound different. They're ladder braced. Instead of an X or a fan like a classical guitar, they just have straight bars, which gives them a different kind of projection,
Right.
different tonal quality.
Right.
So yeah, I had one in. I don't see anything here from it, but yeah, I had one in for. I'm putting it back to work. I'd say I gave it some time off, so I had the neck and some frets redone and changed the pickup system in it. So.
What did you do with the guitar that your mom gave you?
Oh, the violin.
Yeah.
Oh no, that guitar. What happened to that guitar? The neck warped on it, and it was of an age of a Martin guitar where it had no reinforcement in the neck,
Ah.
and so I traded it away to some sorority girl who played Peter, Paul, and Mary songs and never played above the 3rd fret, and she thought it was just wonderful.
Okay.
Because by the time you got the 5th and 7th fret, the intonation was awful, and it was like trying to play a cheese slicer, the fiddle that my mom played that I inherited, my nephew still uses.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was teaching myself fiddle. It's the same fingering as mandolin, but I had a horse put me through a gate, made a 2x8 gait with this hand on the back of my head.
Oh my
And
God.
so, stupid thing. Stupid, you know, you figure a horse is at a place where you want him to be, and then you put him under stress, and lo and behold, he's not.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I take all the blame for that one. But I couldn't hold, I still, like I tried even the way the Cajuns play, where they hold their bow in the middle. But to try and play with the weight of like with your fingers on the frog where you should play, my hand won't do it. Okay, well, thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. This was amazing.